Since 2017, Landon has been the CEO of Cosmos Corporation, a pet health and wellness products company. The company from the US has three leading brands: TropiClean, Naturel Promise, and Urine-off. Their products are available at 43,000 plus retailers across 70 plus countries. During his time as CEO, the Cosmos workforce has expanded from 100 employees to 250 plus employees, and it has seen 275% top line growth.
Hello, Global Pets Forum Asia. I am Landon Hobson, CEO of Cosmos Corporation, and welcome inside of our new headquarters here outside of St. Louis, Missouri. I am honored to present to you, and we are honored to sell our products in China. Turning to the market in China there's 500 million households. 7% of those have a dog as a pet, equivalent to 36 million households. In comparison, in the US, there's 128 million households, and roughly 54% of those have a dog as a pet. From a cat perspective, out of the 500 million households, 5% of those have a cat as a pet, equivalent to 27 million. And in the US, it's roughly 35% of the 128 million households, roughly 45 million. The market as a whole in China has doubled from 2015 to 2019, a compounded annual growth rate of 20%. Over the same period of time, the US market has increased 62%. Some estimates for the China pet market is that currently it's at 45 billion US dollars and is set to grow to 73 billion US dollars by 2023. You can see that the Chinese pet market is growing substantially, and there's a lot of room to grow. Cosmos is very excited to partner with ISCO in selling great products to that already growing market. Now let's turn our attention to the Chinese pet parent motivations. 9 out of 10 pet owners in China consider pets to be part of the family. Roughly half of pet owners in China are under the age of 30. Those who are continuing to grow in their career are required to spend long hours working. And so job success depends on those long hours, but yet they have a pet at home that they want to take care of. They're willing to spend money on high quality products that will help ensure the health and wellness of their pets. It's important that companies wanting to do business in China understand the concerns of China's pet parents. They want made in the USA products that they can trust. For example, at Cosmos, we have a 200,000 square foot facility that's state of the art we just moved into last year to ensure that we continue to meet the production and quality standards that are required by the Chinese pet parent. China's pet parent also seeks out high quality ingredients. We use naturally derived ingredients that are safe for pets and their people. China's pet parent also trusts more in professional certifications. For example, our dental health solution water additives for dogs that are sold in China have the VOHC seal, also have the NASC seal. These certifications are recognized and trusted by discerning pet parents who are concerned with the wellness of their pet. Partnering with ISCO in China, they use thermal monitoring of the shipping containers and third-party analysis of products when they arrive in China to ensure those quality standards that started in the US and then arrive in China. Customers in China also trust brands that seek to understand their needs. At Cosmos, we do all of this to make sure that pet parents around the world and in China enjoy the quality time they have with their pets and increase the wellness of their pets. Thank you again for having me, and it's an honor to present and an honor to sell our products in such a great market, China. Thank you.
Landon, thank you very much for joining me for a quick follow-up question session. Let's start off with, like you mentioned in your presentation, that the Chinese market is growing. How has that translated to the demand for your products?
Yeah, thank you for having me. The Chinese market is growing substantially. It's translated the same way. So we're growing. Our brand is growing in China. Our product sales are increasing, specifically in our oral care is really increasing. And so we've seen the same growth that I think the market's experiencing. And I think a lot of that comes from us customizing our products to the use of the Chinese pet parent. And so sampling, making sure that we're getting our products out there and people trust it. And then customizing our products through packaging sizes and for, the use that they have in their home environments and their frequency of use.
So you already mentioned like you're customizing some things. Since you sell to consumers in more than 70 countries, how do you kind of see the differences between Chinese consumers and consumers in other parts of the world?
Yeah, the Chinese consumer is a very cautious buyer. They want to learn more about the product. They're always looking to learn about the product. They typically ask more questions of the product than other consumers in other countries. And so that leads us, we have to build trust first with the consumer in China. We know that. We have to provide content for the consumers in China because they want to continue to learn about the product. And a lot of that is definitely over and above other countries that we sell to. And then last, we have to have a high quality to deliver to the Chinese pet parent because they're a cautious buyer. And so building that trust quality is a massive way of building that trust. They want to avoid the scammed or fraudulent products, the counterfeit products that could be on the market. And so what we try to do is build trust through quality and continue to provide content and basically show that our product does work.
And the content, is that just like kind of written text, or is it like videos, or like is there special formats that they prefer?
Yeah, so we've done written text, just about what ingredients do we have, content about our third-party certifications, content about how it works, its efficacy, and then content about how it got to them, right? What did we do to produce it to get it to them in a high quality manner? So I think all of that content matters, but it's over and above what we normally provide because the Chinese customer is very cautious, which is great.
Yeah, so you already mentioned you have kind of different sizes, different packaging. Do they also buy different types of products than other consumers in other countries?
Yeah, I would say that they buy products that are certified by third parties. So we see a substantial increase in those product sales when we are certified through, as I mentioned in the presentation, VOHC or NASC. Any third-party verification that carries some weight and trust, we do see those products grow because the Chinese pet parent wants somebody to stamp it and say, yes, this is a good product that works.
So it's not really product specific, let's say, that is like they prefer a certain type of product. It's more, it needs to be certifiably coming from a good source and everything just needs to kind of add up.
Yeah, exactly. Can they trust it? Do they understand what ingredients are in it? Do they understand the solution that it's providing them and what problem is it solving? And then is somebody else signing off on this to make sure that it's good? Yeah, exactly.
All right. Shifting to something kind of slightly different. If you look at, everyone in the industry is dealing with rising costs in transportation, ingredients, materials, everything. How have you been dealing with that situation?
Yeah, so we've had somewhat of the same thing everybody's dealing with, obviously. I think we've been able to hold that down. We've been able to mitigate some of those cost increases in a few ways. Number one, 96% of what we make is right here in our facility in St. Peters, Missouri. So we can mitigate the cost because we have control of the cost in most instances. The second one is because it's made right here in St. Peters, Missouri, and we're not importing a ton of stuff. We buy from local vendors. We're not being hit with the large international freight increases. Bringing products in and then sending them out, we're not getting hit twice, which is great. I think the other side is, I mentioned in the presentation, we just built a 190,000 square foot building here. And so we're able to use that building. We're all under one roof. We're leveraging our efficiencies from building that building, investing in high automated equipment. So we've been able to push off some of those price increases that are coming at other manufacturers we haven't had. And so it's been great to see us kind of use our scale and our suppliers to our advantage. And then ultimately that price increase doesn't get passed to the consumer, right? We're able to control our costs. And what matters the most is that's not getting passed all the way to the end consumer so we can maintain the price that we're charging them.
So does that mean have your relationships with your suppliers changed in any way throughout COVID, or has it kind of been the same because you already had a good setup? Like how has that evolved?
Yeah, exactly. So, prior to COVID, we purchase locally. We try to form a partnership with those suppliers because we're purchasing high quality ingredients. We are purchasing more expensive ingredients. And it's local. Our supplier base is here in the Midwest. So prior to COVID, that was kind of seen as like, oh, you may be overpaying, right? So, however, when COVID hit and our suppliers stuck with us and we didn't have those price increases because of that partnership, they're right down the street and we can visit them and talk to them. And we're sourcing locally as opposed to importing. The relationship has just grown, and it's to our advantage right now. And so I think others are looking at that model and saying, maybe we'll move towards that model because of what's going on. And so that has been a plus for us, that our regional supplier base and those partnerships prior to COVID just lasted all the way through and have gotten a lot thicker too. The relationships are getting better.
So that's, I guess, on the supplier side. Now on the other side with the distribution, do you have like a direct to consumer strategy as well, or do you work with retailers and distributors across the world? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, good question. So we don't do direct consumer right now. So we kind of take the omni-channel strategy. We try to let the consumer drive that. Where does the consumer want to get their products? Where do they shop? And then how do we meet them in those places? So, we do sell online through Tmall, JD, Amazon, Chewy, the big guys around the world. And then we sell through distribution networks, in China through ISCO, who takes it to the independent or the smaller store. And then we look at the big box stores across the world that we do sell into. So our strategy is meet the consumer where they want to shop. Where do they trust getting the product? Where do they get their content? And then how do we meet them there? And it looks different. So in the retail store, we try to drive foot traffic through custom or personalized products in those retail stores. Through online, as I mentioned before, we have to provide content. That content needs to be updated on a regular basis, so the pet parent knows exactly what product they're purchasing and how, what the solution does for their pet. So it depends. We address all those markets, but we're trying to create an omni-channel strategy to meet the consumer where they want to purchase, as opposed to just direct to consumer from us. If one day, if that's where the pet parent wants to purchase it, is mainly through direct to consumer, then we could move in that way. But right now, it's focusing on where are they shopping, where do they trust, where are they getting their information, and let's go to them in that way.
Yeah, makes sense. So if you then look at kind of the partners that you work with, you have people on the online side, you have like more brick and mortar players. Do you see any differences in your, like, people who buy your product in the way, maybe, I don't know, maybe they buy different products or different kind of quantities, or like any buying behavior differences there?
Yeah, that's a great question. Typically in the store, they're looking for a trusted person to help them recommend, right? So they're looking for a personalized product. How do I go in there? I'm surveying this bay. And mainly my store is picking a great product to put on the shelf, right? They trust that retailer to pick. And so we see in there, they're more in search of a solution and comparing. Online, they're looking at what content. They're probably looking at, we all do it, right? When you're shopping online, you've got multiple tabs open and you're comparing the products and you're seeing which one, you're reading the reviews. And so they're probably not looking for the expert advice of that store associate or the retail store to curate their products, but they're more comparing them across. So that changes the content we put online, right? We need to basically have our content online to when where they're reading it and they're comparing across those multiple tabs, they can understand what our product does, why our product is high quality, why they should purchase our product. In store, it's personalized. It can be a lot of personalized products, customized to who that retailer serves. Different retailers do serve different customers. And so the product that we're offering to that retailer is saying, we understand the consumer walking through your doors, and this is what they're looking for. And then oftentimes we do it in partnership with that retailer because they're the ones interacting with the consumer on a daily basis. And so we love that valued input from them to understand their consumer. So we do see different people shopping in different places for sure.
And if you then look at the online part, because you mentioned like you have a lot of kind of content to help them make a good decision, is that something you mainly do on your side, or is that something you also provide to specific online partners? How does that work?
That's a great question. So on our website, we're mainly providing deeper information about our products. So people can visit our brand website and basically see deeper information, the ingredients, why they would use it, personalized products. When we go to the retailers, so those large online retailers, we're providing content there as well. It obviously can't be as deep because you only have the brand page there, but we're providing the content, and that's where that has to be updated quickly, right? We need to understand what is that consumer on that site looking for, so we just continue to update that based off of what the market is looking at. So it is two different ways to absorb information, a lot deeper information on the website and a lot more succinct, quick information that the consumer needs to make the decision on those online retailers.
All right. Perfect. Well, thank you very much for your input. Your presentation was great. Thanks a lot for the follow-up Q&A. I wish you a good day and talk to you again soon.
Thank you for having us. Have a good day.